5 time assassins. Anybody remember what the 5 time assassins are?
The Staller, the Speed Demon, the Supervisor, the Saver, and the Self-Medicator.
Yeah.
Hey, good job.
I feel like I have a couple in there.
Yeah. I got a blend.
Yeah, I got a blend too.
That's not me. All right. Who wants to kick us off today? Anyone? Bueller?
I thought it was interesting when he mentioned that like growing, it gives you an advantage if you grew up in a chaotic household. I'm like, that sounds kind of on the head. I'm like, shit, me and Aaron's house was a little hectic growing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool too, that it's like, most of society would say that like, oh, you're at a disadvantage, or maybe just our little victim sides want to be like, oh, but I had a hard childhood. You're like, well, actually, you were in a better mindset to deal with the chaos that ensues. Now it's also interesting how we can pull ourselves back into chaos because it's our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I go through a lot of this, and with my coach Joseph, it comes up often. Like there's been some times where things are going really good, and I'm almost uncomfortable. Well, I'm not almost. I am uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands, right? Like I don't know what to do if I'm not like dealing with chaos. And it's easy to just like he says, you don't even know you're doing it. You're just subconsciously you find a way. You just find a way to fuck something up or find something that's fucked up so that you can get back into your comfort zone, which is in chaos mode, right? All right. So let's talk about your time assassins. So I am a blend of Speedy and Self-Medicator. I don't drink anymore, but when I did drink, I drank a lot. And I drank to celebrate, and I drank to escape, which meant I was always drinking.
Celebrating.
I was celebrating and escaping every day.
That was like when we were first dating. We were both celebrating. Celebrating.
And then the Speedy thing, I would say I got a little bit of a mixed feedback on Speedy because, Grant talks about it, Brandon talks about it, the Marines talk about it. Like it's better to make a decision and move on than to not make a decision at all. And so I do understand where he's going with the, kind of haphazardly running around just pulling triggers to pull triggers, but it's also an asset to just make a call, move on. And, if it was the right call, great. If it wasn't the right call, you find out. The faster you make a decision, the faster you find out if it was right or wrong. So,
well, I think that's an important distinction that he was going over in the chapter is his example of his client with the Speed Demon part was his client would make quick 2-second decisions, and when it was the wrong choice, he wouldn't stop and reflect on what went wrong or why it went wrong. He would just move on and ended up doing it. Was he was hiring for marketing. He kept hiring bad marketing managers because he wouldn't think about why the last one was bad. He would just go and hire the next easiest one to get on his team.
Yeah.
I think for me, the the analytical side of me puts me into being somewhat of a staller on certain things because I don't want to make the wrong decision. And then I definitely used to also be a self-medicator, but I don't live like that no more. No more. And I remember Drew's heard this one before. Our uncle, he said, you just got to ask yourself, do you want a better life? It's like the most simple explanation why he stopped drinking, and that stuck with me, and it's like pretty profound and easy
Yeah. Do you want a better life?
Yeah. And true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dan shared, he went through the same thing, right? He was a medicator, and then one day, once he had a kid on the way, he's like, okay, well, I don't want that in my kid's life, so
Yeah.
it's done, right? For me, it was death. I was either gonna keep drinking or well, I was gonna keep drinking and die or stop drinking. So
Yeah, I learned lessons the hard way. So I got to get pushed all the way to the fucking
all the way to the brink.
all the way to the edge.
Then you meet those people who go through college drunk and have a great GPA,
That was me
drunk and high.
for
and
sure.
Never learn.
3.5 the whole time, hungover in class all the time, just cruising.
That's
Lit. Yeah.
Seriously, I had a friend, she said once, I have to go for the test. I have to go get a beer. And I'm like, what? She goes, I was tipsy the whole time in the class. So I need to be tipsy taking the test. And she did great.
To match the
Yeah.
energy.
We go have beers at what pizza place? There's the pub on campus. It was always just shoot over there, drink pitchers, and then go to class, go to physics class or calculus. I've drunk.
I had a friend who took all her tests with at least one drink in her because if she didn't have the drink, she was so anxious and nervous in the test, she would freak out, overanalyze, and bomb tests. If she had at least one drink, she could calm down and just answer the questions.
Oh, see, now that makes sense.
Wow.
that sounds like some what do you call that when you justify your actions?
Perfect.
I convinced myself that one time about getting stoned before doing calculus homework, and then I would like sit there and it would take me way longer. And I went into a test one time and it was really started freaking out in the test, and I just
Didn't work out.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Why would you get stoned before calculus too?
Well, because I thought I convinced
Your
myself
whole
that
brain.
if you do the homework high and you take the
Yeah,
test,
drunken recall.
yeah,
In Deer Fest, they talk about it. The nerdy guy is like drunken recall. I did this study where if I got people really hammered, like blacked out drunk, teach them physics, and then get them drunk again, they would know it exactly.
Wow.
Makes sense.
until it doesn't.
Never tried it, but yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Oh shit. Well, that's definitely, so guys like Aaron, and I didn't go to college, but high school I was I just floated through. I never really had to apply myself. I just got through with about a 3.5. And then, you go, okay, well, wow, imagine like if you had found that thing at that time in life that you could have really put your energy into, and like, where would that have taken you versus just floating through public school in a sea of mediocrity.
But when we're at that age, we genuinely do not care.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Unless you're Taylor Swift.
Unless you're Taylor Swift.
Stop micromanaging.
The micromanaging thing, when he talked about the guy with the bike shop, I've caught myself doing that stuff, and Brandon and his team and this book, because I did go through this book once already. I was like, oh, okay, I got to slow it down, and it's better to I think of it as like creating another head to the Hydra, like create the head to the Hydra, spend the time to spawn that little fucker and let that Hydra start
Doing stuff.
eating its own humans rather than me having to go eat the humans.
Yeah.
all of them, you know?
Crunch all that data.
That's what the SOPs are about. That's what all of this data tracking stuff that we're doing is all about, is like figuring out where the energy needs to go to make the jobs more profitable, recreate ourselves, and spawn a new breed of South Bay gradients.
How big gradients.
South big gradients.
That micromanaging thing is actually a big struggle for me. I didn't make sergeant, but I got recommended for sergeant. When you go for promotion, you've got to go in a panel of all like the senior officers and whatnot, and basically do an interview, and they'll say recommend, don't recommend. On my last interview for promotion panels, we call it. On my last promotion panel, I got recommended for sergeant by everybody except for Gunnery Sergeant Poole. Great guy, like Gunny Poole. His reason for not recommending me was because I did everything myself. I didn't know how to delegate tasks. So that's coming up in this book right here, right now. Is like, oh yeah, that is something that I don't really do.
Yeah, wonder where you got that from.
Well, that's why we do this stuff, is to identify where we can focus our energy on expanding and kind of branching out, open our mind to trying something different. It's hard. It's definitely is like with letting go of some of this stuff, there's a risk, like he said, what is it? 80% of
80%
is 100% awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that, it's true. When stuff's happening, Shawn and I were talking about this maybe yesterday or Monday, that, you know, stuff's happening in the background that he may not know about. I don't know, like when Jared's in there estimating, he's just cruising along, and like he'll check in with me every once in a while if he needs something. Him and Shawn are doing bid reviews, but Jared's just cranking away. I'm in here cranking away. These two are over here doing their thing, cranking away, coming up, like the whole scale light thing. There's a lot of stuff that's going on there. You guys have your work cut out for you. So it's pretty cool to have everyone doing their in their sector, you know, doing their thing. So that Shawn can focus on the big picture and steer the ship, you know.
Steer.
Yeah.
I think so. What just stood out to me was the note here: to delegate outcomes, not tasks. And that right now is shouting at me, like, you know, I'm fairly good at delegating tasks, but I haven't really figured out how to delegate an outcome yet, right? Like, say, okay, this is what I want the outcome to be, and everybody go figure it out, right? I still get a little stuck in the, okay, well, I got to figure out what the process is before I can expect somebody else to do it, right?
Yeah, that goes to the time frames. Like you can, okay, what's the hourly, maybe this is too detailed, but hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and the grant, like we can zoom into different time frames and really focus on what's the goal for this month. Well, for me, it's to keep jobs moving so we can bill. For Heather, it's to keep the accounting together and bill for those jobs every month and extract the money out of the jobs as we go. For Jared, we've all got our different things.
Yeah. And
being able to click from different time frame to different time frame and understand that is definitely important. I think that's why the morning meetings, we all get aligned on like where we should be going. But we all do need to be flexible and obviously be able to communicate with each other and understand like how all of our work touches and connects. Yeah. Where's Kevin?
That's funny.
For me, I feel like I overanalyze way too much things, and because I try making it so perfect, I spend way too much time doing one task, and then when I realize it's been an hour and I only did like half of it because I was trying to make it perfect. And then sometimes I get to the end and it's not the way that I liked it. So then when I realize I already lost like 3 hours of my day, and then I get frustrated.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that my whole life so I can get better, because every time, like when I was gonna do a test that was a written test, I would spend hours because I was thinking of the perfect answer and I wanted everything to be perfect. But I have to know that it's sometimes not gonna be the way that I want, but it just has to be the way that it is.
And I will speak to, you know, the comfort of working in somebody else's system versus having to build the system. When I was at Granite, everything was already built, right? I just stepped into a role that had all the tools that we needed to do the work that we were doing. And when I started my own business, because I came from an environment where everything was set up, I thought, oh, it's just going to be easy because I already know what to do. But it's much different when you have to build the process yourself.
Yeah.
Document the process yourself. And so I would say, you know, that is going back to micromanaging. I had a period where I was pretty good at delegating, and then circle back to, you know, call it 2 years ago, I had to start over, and realized, you know, I mean, here we are 2 years later, and we're just now starting to really put the emphasis on building all of the processes and the SOPs, all the things that we've known how to do, but never actually put on paper. And so you know, I would say you can slide in to these time assassins based on where you're at today, right?
Yeah.
So I don't self-medicate with alcohol anymore, but I do really enjoy being in bed because it's my little safe space where nobody can get to me. And I also tend to eat my feelings. So I would say that, you know, my supervisor side that comes and goes, I think that I'm holding a pretty decent balance right now. But there's always room for improvement. All right. Who else? Anybody else want to share?
Allison?
Lisa?
I think I fit in every single one of those. Busy work, the last one. I gotta really focus and get those. When you mentioned SOPs, my whole thing is like, with my part of this job, it's like a big old scramble in my head, and I'm lucky to get everything done in order. And I'm like struggling with trying to figure out how I'm gonna do an SOP with it. It'll probably be like click, 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 click all over the.
It's all right. There was a tool that Keaton showed us. It was a mind mapping tool. And I don't remember where he found it. You might look it up online, but it basically, like, it gives you an illustration of all of the things going on and all these little like strings that are connecting them.
Yes.
And then you can
yeah.
like drag them out and start to make order out of them. That it looked very interesting, but it's too much time for me to fuck around with.
I've been involved in that before.
Yeah.
See, that gets right back to where my thing is I gotta get stuff out today. It's gotta get out there, and how Grant Cardone's like, just do it. Get it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
Just do it.
Get it done and get it out. Get it done and get it out.
I'm
Get
just
it
like,
done.
go, 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 go. And then when it's like, oh, I'm like, oh, I should probably map how I do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't he say too, most people aren't going to see it, so might as well just send it out?
Yeah,
Yeah, 80% of what you post.
yep.
Nobody's ever gonna see it. Nobody cares. Until they need a sign put up. And then they
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody jumping in and participating. What's chapter 4? Does anybody know what chapter 4 is?
He started, but I paused him.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
I
he
do like
previews
people.
he
What?
previews them right at the end of the last chapter, and I forget what he said, but it's I think he goes into detail on something. I think I remember, but
It is the only 3 trades that matter. Chapter 4.
there you go.
What kind of trades he's talking about? Trading something for something else?
Trading money for, I think he's talking,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Trading time for money.
yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. We'll see you all again next week.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you, Sandy, for putting these fantastic slides together.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Beautiful.